Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review A Wounded Fawn. And this is a new horror thriller from Shudder, from director Travis Stevens, who previously did Jacob's Wife and The Girl from the Third Floor, and I'm a huge fan of Jacob's Wife. I think that's one of the most interesting and dynamic vampire stories told in recent years. So, pretty excited about this one, and this is about a serial killer who brings an unsuspecting new victim to a weekend getaway, and there's all kinds of unnerving and creepy beings and visuals and ghosts and entities. You'll have to find out, and maybe you'll watch it and still not know, but things start going awry during this weekend, and this film has a very distinct, old-school graininess to how it was shot. Feels very much like a Dario Argento film in many ways, from Susha Genenfeld, who did the cinematography. The music is unnerving and creepy and resonant from Fawn, and just the atmosphere. There's all these designs, the makeup and costuming for these different entities. There's some kind of owl entity that keeps popping up throughout the film, and it's unnerving and creepy, and there's a lot of really strong scares throughout the film in terms of whether they're jump scares or just this haunting, eerie, unnerving environment that's created around it. The film is told in 3 acts, and the first act is pretty straightforward but really effective, building intrigue, building tension, and us worrying about what's going to happen to this woman, played by Sarah Lind, who is our protagonist, being haunted by Josh Rubin's serial killer. And we're sitting here, this first act, what's going to happen? And something happens, and we have a second act that something mysterious is afoot. And it's really at that point where things start going a little bit in the weird direction. And as it progresses towards the end, this movie goes places. It is dark, it is disturbing, the visuals are artistic and inventive and bold in so many different ways. It's very thematic, deeply entrenched in mythology, and this is definitely one of those films that I'm probably going to have to watch more over time to really get a better feel and understanding of it. There's a lot to process, especially in the second half of this film, and maybe over time, as I have a better grasp of it, I might enjoy this film more, or maybe I'm just like, well, that's still way too out there. But in many ways, I think this is an extremely effective atmospheric horror film. It works in that manner. You're going to be on edge and unnerved from start to finish. Does it have something that's purely satisfying from a narrative perspective? That's a challenge. That's another story. But I do think this is worth giving a shot, especially if you're a horror fan. This is more art house horror. Don't go in expecting this serial killer film to just be a straightforward slasher, because that it is not. And Stevens makes sure of it, and by the end of the film, you have something completely unexpected and different that you probably didn't think you were going to experience jumping into this 90-minute film. But those are my thoughts on A Wounded Fawn. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.